Okay, so I'm transferring some files right now from the Nikon D500. And I wanted to do a little, I told you guys I was going to do a little review for you of the Nikon D500 that I used on a wedding this weekend for photography and video. Now for photography, this camera is just ridiculous. The focusing is like super fast and it focuses faster than anything I've ever used before. It's like instantaneous focusing. You can hold it and it'll just track and focus the whole time, and it just nails it. The focusing is ridiculous. I like that the back lights up, the buttons light up in the back, these light up in the back. That's really cool. I hate that Nikon keeps moving stuff around, like the ISO buttons on the top when it's on the back, on the bottom on the D600, and on the next one up on the D750. And then the plus and minus, the zoom controls are 3 buttons up on this one instead of the second button. I mean, it's like they keep moving the buttons around on the back. So you have to get your mind around new buttons every single time you use a camera. It's like every time you change to a different camera, you got to figure out where the buttons are. Now, luckily, most of the other stuff is in about the right place, and I keep forgetting that it has this little joystick, which that was awesome to use to move the thing around with the joystick. I was moving around with the little directional pad here that I'm used to using it, and then I kept hitting that joystick. I was like, oh yeah, it's right there. So it's right beside the thumb button for the autofocus. I just moved that little focus point around. The viewfinder is just ridiculous. Very bright, very clear, very big. Pictures just phenomenal. Now for video, I recorded some 4K video. I'm going to show that here to you in a second. I'm going to show you some sections that I recorded with this camera in 4K during the ceremony. I just popped this camera on a tripod. Actually on the tripod that I used right there. Just popped it on the tripod. Left the flash on it because I was using the flash for photography. And then just recorded during the vows. I just recorded the bride doing her vows. So I got that angle. Now this lens, I would have swapped the lens to like a telephoto, because this is the 11 to 16 2.8 Takina lens, which is, you know, for a DX sensor camera, this thing was wider than I needed it to be. I mean, it's really the biggest, you know, bonus of having a full frame camera is the width of the frame is nice and big. So 24 to 70, 24 is like this 11 on the 24. I mean, that's how wide it is, and it's 24. But on 11 to 16 on this, it's pretty wide. I mean, it looked pretty good. I got everybody in the shot, and it looked pretty fantastic, really. I mean, I never shoot at f2.8 anyway. I always, you know, I always step down a few things anyway. So, but anyway, I'm shooting this right now on my trusty Panasonic G85 vlogging camera, which is what I always shoot. You know, all the vlogs and stuff you see are on that little camera, which is a fantastic camera for video. But I popped this thing on. It has a 20-minute limit. It crops in a little bit on the 4K, which is fine when I'm using an 11 millimeter lens. I actually zoomed this thing in. I wish I could have got a little bit closer. Honestly, for shooting a wedding, I would have changed to a little bit more telephoto of a lens and got a nice close-up shot of the brides during the vows, but I got it as close as I could, and it crops in a little bit more anyway for 4K. So for 4K as a telephoto camera, it'd be perfect. It's beautiful. The build quality on this thing is massively superior to the 750 and everything else. I mean, this thing is built like a tank, like the D5 and the big camera. I mean, this thing's built like, this is the professional camera. It feels professional. It feels really good in the hand. It feels really good when you're taking pictures. It's quite light, actually. With the flash, I had the flash on it for most of the time that I was shooting, and then I switched over to my little triggers. So I just trigger a couple flashes on stands, but when I swapped over to the trigger, I'd been carrying the camera with a full-size flash on it for the whole time, taking pictures, and then I swapped over to this during the reception, or like after the ceremony, when I was triggering 2 flashes to take pictures of the audience of the group photos, and it was so much lighter with with just the flash. But anyway, we're gonna switch over right now. Now this is gonna be the Nikon, the exact same settings, same framing, should be about the same framing, and we're gonna try the D500 and let you guys see what this looks like on here. Now it doesn't have autofocus, so I'm gonna focus. That's why I put this microphone right here. I figure what I'll do is, this is black and white, I'll focus on this, and it should keep me in focus about the same as that camera. So we'll see. This is the new camera. This is the D500, and now I'm shooting this footage right here is from the Nikon D500, because I have obviously I have the G85 sitting right here in my hand. I've been really contemplating upgrading to Panasonic GH5. I hear the GH5S is coming out. It's like a rumor going out now. It's the GH5S, and the GH5S is supposed to have much better low light. I didn't have a chance to really check out the low light footage from this camera. Let me grab the card that I used, MOV file. Let's see if this is it. Okay, I shot a couple shots. One where I was holding the camera. Let's go to type. So here's the 3 shots that I shot with the D5. Here's the footage that I shot of during their vows, and it looks fantastic. This is the footage I shot in the D500 in 4K. It looks fantastic. A little bit of noise in it, but it looks just as sharp. This is low light footage. They just had these little candle lights up top, and it looks fantastic. I mean, it's a little bit yellow, so I have to adjust it. I adjusted the focus. I actually made it focus because I thought I'll just do the focus with it, and it's fine. It looks good. It looks really good. What is this? Is this a continuation? Did it stop and do another one? Yeah. Yeah. It did. I went back, and because it's got a 20-minute limit, I recorded it for like 10 or 15 minutes. Then I restarted it so it wouldn't stop. So that's what the 3 clips are. But it looks fantastic. The footage looks great. So who knows, right? I'm gonna check it all out. I'm gonna put up a couple of these clips from this, and this is the footage from the D500 right now. So you're looking at it. You guys tell me what you think. I think it looks fantastic. I think the footage looks every bit as good as the G85 or anything else I shot for video. And the audio's good on the D500. I'm really impressed with the D500. It solves a couple of my. See, I do photography and video, and I do a lot of photography and a lot of video. I have Nikon glass already, so it's not like I was gonna adapt my Nikon glass to the Panasonic cameras. Now I got this little G85 as a little vlogging camera, you know, and you know that. I got that for doing vlogging, and it's a great little B camera for shooting video at weddings or whatever, you know, because it's like the GH5. And I rented a GH5 and I tried it, and I really liked it. I thought it was fantastic. It was really, really good for video, but it's not really good for photos. It's not really good. This camera actually is really good for video, and it's phenomenal for photos. The GH5 is phenomenal for video and not very good for photo. I mean, it's okay. It's okay for photos. It's not a Nikon for photos. It doesn't have the 14-bit raw files that allow you to push them like crazy for photos. It's just missing some stuff for photos. The photos out of this camera are way better. But you know, who knows? You know, we'll see. Anyway, you guys, this is a quick little, my quick little review of what I thought. Now, one thing I didn't mention I liked on the D500 was that it has a touchscreen on the back. So used to having to scroll the wheel, and it was so complicated doing that. Once I got used to just swiping across, looking at my picture, zooming in real fast with just pinching my fingers when the picture came on the back. Normally I had to hit the plus and minus. So I was complaining about where the buttons were, but you don't need them. You just just zoom in with your fingers, and boom, you can see, you know, zoom right in, you check your focus, and then keep going. So it's that was handy. I got used to doing that. I started doing that a lot. When I take the picture, I just zoom in real quick, perfect, go to the next one. So, you know, zoom in real fast, scroll left and right to make sure everybody's eyes were open, and then just go to the next shot. So in that way, it made it even better. So anyway, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you hated it. Be sure and subscribe. I'm waiting now for, find out, like after the holidays or something, I'm gonna set up a contest for I think I'm just gonna do an Amazon gift card, and that way it's, you know, international. So internationally, everybody will be able to get it. It's like $100 gift card or something like that from Amazon. I think maybe $100 for my 100 for the 1,000 subscribers. Then when I get 2,000, I'll do 200, and then when I get 3,000, you guys can go pound sand. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know. We'll decide when I get up there. If I ever get like 3,000 or 5,000 or whatever, we'll see what happens. I'm not making any money on this channel. It's just a channel for me to talk about stuff that I like, and you know, go over stuff with you guys and show you stuff when I rent cameras or do something or use something, and let you guys know what I thought, my thoughts on stuff. So anyway, that's enough. I'm out. See ya.